Can a team of 24-year-olds win a Stanley Cup in NHL 24? Today we find out. Actually, a very good looking team. We have Necas, Pettersson, and Robertson on the first line, with Brady Tkachuk, Nick Suzuki, and Robert Thomas on the second line, Josh Norris, Nico Hischier, and Philip Hedl, I believe is how that's pronounced, on the third line, Casey Mittelstadt, Gabe Vilardi, and Morgan Frost on the fourth line. Obviously, I'm doing this by their age as I'm recording this. It could be someone's birthday tomorrow, for all I know, and they wouldn't make this team anymore. I didn't research that far ahead. We got a Heiskanen and Makar on our first line of defense, which should be nasty. John Dursey, Mikey Anderson on the second line with Nicholas Hague and Timothy Liljegren on the third line. An amazing duo in net as well. Jake Ottinger as our starting goalie with Jeremy Swayman as our backup. And if there's any 24-year-olds missing on this team that you think should be here, you can have that conversation with EA, because I have the highest rated 24-year-olds in the game on this team. We're just gonna see how many Stanley Cups they can win in 5 years. Hopefully it's at least one. We're looking real good in year number 1, and this team should only get better as the years progress. We'd finish with a 48, 27, and 7 record, earning 103 points for 5th in the entire league. We got Jason Robertson leading our team in points with 94. Pettersson had 92 and Necas had 88. For our top 3 scorers, we have Robertson with 43 to lead the way, while Tkachuk had 37 and Pettersson had 35. Ottinger would have 41 wins in 70 games played with 5 shutouts, a 905 save percentage, and a 2.85 goals against average. Swayman would kind of struggle in the backup position. He didn't even win half his games played. He'd have 7 wins in 17 games, an 885 save percentage, and a 3.43 goals against average with 0 shutouts. It would be Husso and Demko both tying to lead the league in wins with 43. Husso ending up having the best stats out of the two. I see a Vezina in his future. 109 points for Johnny Gaudreau would lead the entire league, while it would be Ovechkin leading the league in goals with 60. Now we get to start our quest for the Stanley Cup with our first playoff series, and we start off against the St. Louis Blues. And we were able to make quick work of St. Louis. We won 10-2 in game number 1. We would sweep them to move on to the second round to face the Colorado Avalanche. It would not be a sweep this time around, but we'd still win rather easily. So we beat them in 5 games, and in the conference finals, we must face the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets are 1 win away from eliminating us. They have 3 games to do it, which means we have to win 3 of them in a row, and it's not going to happen as we lose 5-4 in game number 5, and we are eliminated in the conference finals. The Jets would steamroll their way to their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. They swept the first round, they swept the second round, and they beat us in 5 games and only lost 2 games to Boston in the Stanley Cup finals. Makar was their point leader in the playoffs with 24, but it would be Robertson leading our team in goals in the playoffs with 13, almost doubling second place. Necas and Tkachuk had 7. Ottinger not doing too bad, a 909 save percentage and a 2.82 goals against average, while also getting 2 shutouts. It would be Brad Marchand leading the entire playoffs in points though with 28. Pastrnak was in second with 26. Marchand and Pasta both led the playoffs in goals with 14. It would be Joe Pavelski winning the Hart Memorial Trophy, which I'm not against, but looking at the stats, I thought someone else was going to win, like Gaudreau or Ovechkin, but here we are. Cale Makar is winning the James Norris Trophy, but it's not our Cale Makar, it's the Cale Makar that's still on Colorado. The Conn Smythe goes to Nikolai Ehlers. Robin Leonard wins the Vezina, wasn't ready for that one, and the William M. Jennings Trophy. Bold decision. Looking for revenge in year number 2, and we're going to start out with a 57-20 and 5 record, which would put us in first place in the entire league. We earned 119 points. Jason Robertson would be leading our team in points with 93 and in goals with 55. 42 wins for Jake Ottinger in 61 games played. He had 4 shutouts, a 905 save percentage, and a 2.85 goals against average. Swayman had a way better year this year than last year. 15 wins in 22 games played, a 911 save percentage, a 2.78 goals against average with 1 shutout. Georgiev would lead the entire league in wins with 49. He played 70 games. He had 4 shutouts, a 907 save percentage, and a 2.90 goals against average. Boston looking dominant once again. Pastrnak led the entire league in points with 130. Marchand was in second place with 122. Pasta had 73 goals to lead the league. The closest was Line, who still had 61. Looking at the playoffs, we have to face the Vancouver Canucks in round number 1. We beat them in 5 games, move on to the second round, where we face Colorado once again. We were victorious last year. Hopefully that happens again. Game 7 is required in the second round. First period, it's going to be 2-1 to us with Mittelstadt and Vilardi scoring. Second period, 1 goal for us. Kachuk would make it 3-1. Nick Suzuki is going to pile on another goal to start the third period, and then another one by Robertson. I'm just going to sim it. We would win 6-1 and move on to the conference finals once again. This time we're facing the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm really liking our odds right now. We have to lose 3 games in a row, and it doesn't happen. We will be facing the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals. And we are Stanley Cup champions in year number 2. They're beating Toronto in 6 games in the finals. Robertson and Natchez leading our team in points, both having 26 in the playoffs, while Robertson led our team in playoff goals with 15. With Ottinger having a .913 save percentage and a 2.75 goals against average, while also grabbing 2 shutouts, winning all 16 games. The Toronto top 3 absolutely popping off in the playoffs. 42 points for Matthews to lead the league, 35 for Marner, and 34 for Nylander. And they even played 1 less game than us. This stat line is ridiculous. 25 goals for Matthews in the playoffs in 23 games played. Nathan MacKinnon would win the Hart Memorial Trophy for whatever reason. And Cale Makar winning the James Norris Trophy in back-to-back years, but this time it was our Cale Makar. Jason Robertson grabs the Conn Smythe Trophy. Anderson wins the Vezina Trophy, and Jake Ottinger would grab the William M. Jennings Trophy. We would finish in 3rd place in the NHL in year number 3 with a 51-25-6 record, earning 108 points. Elias Pettersson would lead our team in points this time around with 96. Robertson is still scoring the most goals. He had 55 once again. Ottinger would win 40 games out of 67 played. He had 3 shutouts, a .906 save percentage, a 2.99 goals against average. While Swayman would win 11 games out of 18 played, have 1 shutout, an .892 save percentage with a 3.15 goals against average. Shesterkin had 46 wins to lead the league. He had 3 shutouts, an .892 save percentage, and a 3.35 goals against average. While Timmy Stu had 119 points to lead the league, it would be Austin Matthews leading the league in goals with 65. We're out here looking for back-to-back Stanley Cups. We face the Colorado Avalanche in the first round this time. We beat them in back-to-back seasons in the second round, and we'd continue our winning ways against them as we'd beat them in the first round in 7 games. Game 7 being a 3-2 win for us. We move on to the second round where we face the Minnesota Wild. We would win the second round series in 7 games as well, and we move on to the conference finals where we face the Vegas Golden Knights once again. We're gonna sweep them after having 2 very intense series. Yes, we are. And the only team standing in our way is the Boston Bruins. They are our Stanley Cup final opponents. We're 1 game away from being eliminated, and there it is. Boston would beat us in 6 games in the finals. It was clearly Pettersson's season. 29 points led our team in the playoffs. Nick Suzuki had 28 for second. It would be Pettersson leading our team in playoff goals with 13. Ottinger at .906 save percentage and a 2.95 goals against average. He did have a shutout. Swayman playing 36 minutes, only letting in 1 goal during that time. Marchand would lead the league in playoff points with 31. While Pasta would lead the league in playoff goals with 15. I'm 0 for 3 on predicting who was going to win the Hart Memorial Trophy in these sims because William Nylander would grab it this year. Adam Fox would grab the James Norris Trophy. Marchand would win the Conn Smythe Trophy, while Samsonov grabs the Vezina Trophy, and Georgiev grabs the William M. Jennings Trophy. Year number 4, we'd finish with a 50-23-9 record, earning 109 points for second in the entire NHL. We got Jason Robertson leading our team in points once again with 91. As well as leading our team in goals with 56. Who predicted Pavel Buchnevich having the most points in the league? Because you just earned yourself a cookie. 112 points to lead the way. While it would be Robertson leading the league in goals, but not our Robertson, the one on Dallas. He had 57 goals. We're looking rather good. We would beat Anaheim in 5 games in the first round, then beat St. Louis in 6 games in the second round to move on to the conference finals where we'd face the Vancouver Canucks. We haven't done many fancy sims today, so let's jump into this one. First period, no score. We're out shooting them 12-5. Second period, 2-0 Vancouver. Time winding down in the third period as well. Still no score from anyone, and Miller will score while Heiskanen gets one back, but it's too little too late. Vancouver upsets us in the conference finals. Unless we score a goal in 5 seconds, not gonna happen. The Vancouver Canucks would capture their first Stanley Cup ever by beating the Florida Panthers in 6 games in the finals. 20 points for Robertson and Pettersson would lead our team in the playoffs, while Brady Tkachuk makes a rising appearance, 14 goals in the playoffs to lead our team. It would be Matthew Tkachuk leading the playoffs in points with 29, and it would be Pasta leading the league in playoff goals with 16. He only played 18 games. These Hart Memorial Trophy wins are so random today. Sam Reinhart would grab the award this season. Adam Fox grabbing his second James Norris Trophy in a row. Quinn Hughes would grab the Conn Smythe Trophy for the Vancouver Canucks. It would be Samsonov grabbing back-to-back Vezina trophies. I wish. Chetkov would grab the William M. Jennings Trophy. Our fifth and final season, we'd have our worst regular season performance. So we'd finish with a 47, 28, and 7 record, earning 101 points for 10th in the entire league. It would be Cale Makar, the cover boy himself, leading our team in points with 90. Jason Robertson would lead our team in goals once again, this time only scoring 44 goals. Carter Hart in New Jersey would lead the league in wins with 46. That would be Tage Thompson leading the league in points with 113. While Pasta would lead the league in goals with 52. And the Minnesota Wild are our first round playoff opponents as we look to capture our second Stanley Cup in our final season. After at least making it to the conference final every other season, we are one loss away from being eliminated in the first round. Our opponents, the Minnesota Wild. We have to win 4 in a row. We start with 1 win. Game number 5. Also going our way. Can we force the big game 7? No, we cannot. They would defeat us 3-2, and we are eliminated in the first round. And our hopes at a second Stanley Cup are already gone. Be the New York Rangers grabbing the Stanley Cup after beating the Chicago Blackhawks in the finals in 7 games. Zibanejad and Connor Bedard would both lead the league in playoff points with 32. Zibanejad leading the league in playoff goals with 13. Tolvanen and Bedard were both one off with 12. As Austin Matthews would win the Hart Memorial Trophy. This one I probably could have predicted, at least easier than the other 4 that happened today. Cale Makar will grab his second James Norris Trophy of the day. I should say our Cale Makar, because it was Makar's third if you count the one on Colorado. Zibanejad wins the Conn Smythe Trophy, makes sense to me. Carter Hart grabs the Vezina Trophy, as well as the William M. Jennings Trophy. If you have another team build idea you'd like me to do, let me know. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.